Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Kenwoven. I'm Rebecca Robeson and I'm going to be hosting you today in this series that we've been running here on YouTube called Updating My Home for Spring and Summer. Today I'm going to show you my living room and my music room. You know what's really weird about it is I actually revealed my living room, my sunroom, and my music room to you just a few months ago. It was right after Christmas and it was great for winter. I mean, beautiful. I loved how it looked. It was so cozy for the winter and I had my fireplace on all the time. It was amazing. But I decided, you know what? Spring and summer are so close. I want to update things so that my house always feels fresh and new to me. What do I mean when I say that I'm going to do a spring and summer refresh? You know, you could do that in your home too. What does that actually mean? Well, for some people, it's just changing out some throw pillows. For other people, it's bringing in some fresh flowers or some beautiful fresh plants. For me, I kind of did a little of everything, but kept the main pieces the main pieces. Remember, this room was kind of dark before. Why? Well, because I did the dramatic thing of adding the black wall into my music room and the black fireplace. How can you take black and white and spring it up, summer it up? Let's take a look. I'll walk you through it right now. So here's where I started. The first thing was, and the obvious thing, the largest surface in this entire room is the floor. And before, take a look at the rug that I used to have in here. Yes, it was brown, and it really blended in perfectly with the wood flooring that I have, which is in and of itself has its advantages. But I also had a beautiful, larger rug that I brought from San Diego, and I've always loved this rug. Brought that up from the basement. That is one stinking heavy rug, right?
Pretty heavy.
Okay, so the idea is to change this out in the springier colors from this one to that one. And we laid it down and I went, oh my gosh, that is beautiful. The second thing that we did was I changed out the pillows. Before, the pillows were the brick red color that went so well with the room behind me. But with this, you know what? The pillows that used to be in my family room, the butterscotch color, they came in here and with the rug, it looked perfect. So those were my two big things. And then I added an additional pillow that had almost a rope or jute effect to it. And that was another little clue or cue of a finish or a look or a color that I could include in this room. You'll notice that the painting here did not change, and in a few minutes I'll show you that the horse painting didn't change. Why is that? These are not prints. These are actual original oil paintings. And for that reason, they need to stay. They were an investment in my decor. So I'm working around them as well. And yes, this does look more wintry and fall, but I think all the other things that I did in here have compensated, have balanced it out, and I think it looks a little more springy. Mental checklist. Plant. That looks summery, springy, doesn't it? That gets to stay. These two pieces of art, although they have dark colors in them as well, they are matted in the white and framed in the brushed gold. Those get to stay. My beautiful white window treatments, those get to stay. Guess what absolutely had to go? I hate to say it because I love this guy. My horse's head. I belong to you. I belong to you. And I replaced it with this amazing basket. This is what they call the garlic. Pretty fancy basketware there. And then you know what I did? I bought these beads. I just love wooden beads and glass beads. I love beads, okay? So I wrapped this around it and look, this little tassel in this raffia kind of rope look. I just thought added some texture, some interest. Isn't that fabulous? And look how it ties in with my pillows. And as I continue to travel down, I still love my clear lamp with a white shade. These marble frames, super great for summer and for spring. We brought in a tree that has a variegation of color in the leaves. This has actual white included in the leaf. You see that? Not as green, more green-white. Definitely more springy. Then, of course, my beloved ladder. Now, this thing is so old. I bought this at Matilda's Mouse years ago, and I've used it for a lot of things, but I love it as a throw holder. It's a ladder, and it rolls, see? Whoop. It's a rolling ladder, right? And fortunately, my ceiling is tall enough for it to fit in this room, so I just took each one of the rungs and put blankets on them. Now, did I change this out for the season? Actually, no, but I added something. Look at this. A little rope of wooden beads. Again, I say like raffia or rope, whatever, twine. Just a little touch to sort of bring in the new color scheme and the new feel of the light and airy look in this room. As we walk into the center of the 4 chairs facing each other, what kind of upgrades or things did I do to make it a little more springy and summery? Well, my accessorizing. Let's take a look at the things right here in the very middle. I removed the books and the dark wood bowl that was here before, which was fabulous for the winter, and I replaced it with this plant. Now this is fresh and springy, don't you think? But do you see what I did here? Take a look at the color of the pillows with this plant, still giving me a lighter and more airy look in this room. On the coffee table, do you remember what was here before? Well, let's take a look. I kept a few of the things. I kept the books. Actually, I replaced one of them, and if you'll look closely, the top of the book has the same color as the pillows that are in this room. But I put on top of it, take a look at this. This is a piece of coral, and I love coral. This piece is actually separate from the base. The base is a piece of glass, it's solid glass, and then this just sits on top. But because the light from either side of the room can reflect through this piece of glass, it just adds so much more of a springy and summery look. And then I got a new bird. I had a bird before. I love birds. Some people hate birds. Do you hate birds? Leave me a comment below. Question of the video. How do you feel about birds in your home decor? Well, I hope you like this one. He's non-threatening, and he's super cute, and he's white. Behind me, I used to have these really amazing lanterns, and the fire would light up, and it was just so dreamy, romantic, yummy looking. Well, look at this. By bringing in a white pot and a Boston fern, I pretty much covered up the space that otherwise looks very black. Here's my black fireplace. Am I going to change the black fireplace? No, because I love it. But adding this nice bright Boston fern in front of it with a white pot just took some of that black away and tied the room in together nicely. Okay, you ready? We're going to go over there, and I'm going to show you what's on that table. You ready to see it? This side of the room has changed dramatically. Let's start with these great accessories here on this little marble table. I started with a new book. Now, I like books for decoration. I truly do, especially coffee table books. But I also like them if it's something I want to read about or take a look at pictures. Is this the cutest book about dogs? So look at the color with this new raffia rush rope look in the room. And then I got a little pedestal bowl, and this is in like a matte finish, so it's nice and milky white. But these little eggs, these are eggs. Guess when I found them? Easter time. But they are wood. They are wooden eggs, and I'm going to leave them here all summer and all spring because the color brings in, again, everything that I'm doing in this room, and I think it just sort of neutralizes everything and looks so great. Aren't these just so cute? Now, I didn't want to change my black wall, and clearly a black wall, just like a black fireplace, is going to leave a darker feel in a room. So here's what I did. I just took out a few of the colored pieces of pottery that were in here for the fall and for the winter, and I brought it all to white and clear, just to add some life and some spring to this side of the room. If you find yourself wondering how to really effectively accessorize your home in any room, you really should become a part of the design sessions. The design sessions are not on YouTube. We actually have an app, and you can download that app and you can get an entire week for free, which you definitely should do. Join the design sessions and you'll learn how to do all of this stuff. All right, so we take it from this black. What was the big thing that I could do to make a huge change in my music room? I painted out my wallpaper. Perhaps you remember from my earlier videos and the reveals of this room, even my Christmas videos, the music room is probably my favorite spot in the whole house. My one regret is that because of copyright, I cannot play it for you because, it is so magical. Love this room. But you know what? I had done something last year, and it was leading on into Christmas, and a lot of you who follow me on Instagram, if you don't follow me, please do. It's Rebecca Robeson. On Instagram, I showed how I picked out a wallpaper that looked a lot like brick. It didn't look like brick, let me just say that. I didn't want a faux brick wallpaper because I thought that would be cheesy. This was a classy version of it. Well, if you saw the first video in this whole series where I kind of walk you through the house and explain things, by now you probably know that I am going to be moving. I'm building my dream home. I just bought the land. I just signed for it yesterday. So exciting. That tells me I don't have to keep this brick because all of those long-term plans have changed. So it seemed like, I'm trying to lighten and brighten it, and definitely that wallpaper was dark. Perfect for Christmas, perfect for winter, not so great in the spring and summer. Perfect time to change it. So come and take a look at what it looks like now that it has merely been painted out. I haven't felt like this for a long, long time. Imagine I was very pleased when I found out that I could indeed paint over this wallpaper, and what it would look like is kind of like a grass cloth. You can actually still see the texture that's on the original wallpaper through the paint. I thought that was great. Here's another thing I did. Before the crown molding, and this is 8-inch crown molding and 8-inch baseboard. That's a lot. It's a 10-foot ceiling, in case you're wondering. The baseboard and crown was stained before. And because I wanted to sit in my living room and look through that black arched wall to my black piano, I thought, I don't think I want to have a dark brown line across the top and a dark brown line across the bottom, which makes it feel like this. I want it to feel like, like this is where the music is coming from and the sky's the limit. And I really think that we achieved that by doing it here. Just keep going around, going around. Just painting out the wallpaper made a significant difference in this room and definitely looks much more summery and springy. But I did add a few extra things. Now, the cool part was the way I had my niches here, the built-ins here, and this one, they were already in the perfect color scheme, so I didn't have to touch anything. It met my checklist criteria, and it got to stay. But here's what I did. I added an additional fiddle fig leaf tree. So I had one on that side all along, and I added a second. So now when you walk into this room, you have complete symmetry. It really, really looks beautiful. And then just the addition of some fresh flowers on the piano, that feels springy, summery, right? Let me take you back in the living room and explain a couple last things that I did in these two rooms together to really make them complete. Anytime you're updating a room with decor items, it's also a really good time to take a look at some of your functionality and just some practical things. One of the things that I did, both in the music room and in this room, is I removed things like this, brass receptacle covers and switch plates. Look, that sort of sticks out like a sore thumb, right? Okay, so by taking those off and just replacing them with off-white switch plate covers and outlet covers, it just sort of tied all of the color of the wall in with those functional things. So now they don't stick out. It's not a design element. It's a necessity element. Make it go away. The last 3 remaining items on my list that I wanted to address were, number 1, I had a burnt out light bulb in here. It was the one that was supposed to be hitting my horse. It was not lighting up that horse, but once we replaced it, now it's lighting up the basket so beautifully. The next thing was I had a conglomeration of cords. Now, I do a lot of my work from this chair right here on my computer. I sit in this chair, and all of my cords to plug in were always over here, sort of behind the chair, but just a hot mess. And you know what I did? I found a super cute basket. Everything goes in there now and you don't see it, and the basket goes with my decor. And then the last thing was, you know, when I ordered these chairs from Restoration Hardware, I actually ordered them to have down feathers in them. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're ordering furniture from Restoration Hardware, do not spend the money on the upgrade for down feathers, because I did, and boy did I have a rude awakening. I took them in to the upholsterer because they were so hard, it didn't feel good to sit here for hours. They opened it up for me, and guess what I saw? This many down feathers. I don't remember what the upgrade was, but I can tell you it was probably significant for each of these chairs. So don't do it. But I did have them restuff one of my cushions because I wanted to, you know, don't take all 4 in at once. That's going to cost you a lot of money all at one time, and until you know for sure that's what you want. But I can tell you right now, this chair, this one, not those, this one is nice and boggy and comfortable. And if you understand what my purpose and my intent was in the design of this room in the first place, was to be a gathering place for my friends to come over, have a glass of wine, and get so comfortable, impossible in these chairs. So I can tell you now, I'm going to have all 4 of them redone. And it's going to be like boggy time with Becky. I like the way that sounds. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Remember to check out the design sessions. You get a first week for free, and it'll be the best decision you've made in a very long time. I promise. All right, you guys, come back for our next episode because there's more on how I updated my home for spring and summer. All right, you guys, I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me today.